What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another daily range breakdown on none other than NAS100. Without further ado, let's get right on into this daily range breakdown. So first things first, we're going to start off on the higher time, not the higher time frame. We're going to start off on the 15-minute, and we're going to do our 3-point outline that we always do, which is going to consist of the previous day's high, the previous day's low, boom, just like that. Boom, previous day's low. We're going to get the previous day's Asian session range. Move this up. I got my monitor in a little bit of a different spot, so I'm kind of trying to get used to looking forward instead of to my left, which is where I usually look when I'm trading or just overall looking at the charts. Let's get the Asian session range. We're going to get the 12 a.m. open, which is right here. Move this up slightly. So, okay, now that we have our 3-point outline, we're going to make sure that everything is good, and we're going to be pointing our eyes to a few specific areas. First things first, I want you guys to keep this low in mind, this high, this low, just like that. I want you to pay attention to all these areas, for one, and I also want you guys to pay attention to the fact that we ran the previous day's high and didn't run the previous day's low. We ran the liquidity below the Asian session range. Ran the liquidity below this Asian session range, just like that. So there's going to be a few areas I want you to pay attention to, like this high, this low, and this low right here. We're going to start off with this low down here. Why is this low important? So first things first, this low is important because, for one, it is our low of the day. And where did this low of the day come in at? It came a few points below 13,100. We have 13,200 right in between here. We have 13,300 right up here. I'm just marking up all the big figure levels around price. We got 13,500 up here. Matter of fact, I'm only use a few areas. I'm not gonna mark up these right here. I'm gonna just have 13,100, and then we have 13,500 up here. Those are the two main areas I'm gonna be using. So why is this low important? Because, for one, this is the low of the day. And also, if you pull a fib from this low, from yesterday's previous day's low, to this high, and pull it over, you see that we had this retracement in here. So this is going to be an important factor. And where did we draw the fib from? From the previous day's low to this current high that we had made during early New York session. So we have the New York high right here, and then we have this low of the day that happened at 10:30 in the morning at the fib long, and it came just shy of 13,000, which was right here. So I'm gonna say we made the low of the day at 1350, just like that. So here, instead of 13,100, I'm gonna pull it all the way down to 1350 because that is our mid-figure level, and that's where we created the low of the day. So now we're gonna annotate that. We have the low of the day at 10:30 in the morning. Plus, we had the fib long along, where if you look to the left, what do you see? The first thing I noticed is we have this last down candle before this up move right here. That is going to be our 15-minute bullish order block, just like that. So that's another confirmation. Fib long, plus we got the 15-minute order block. Plus, we made the low of the day at what level? 13,050, just like that. I'm just making sure that everything's nice and clean on this chart so you guys can see it all clearly. We have this low. We have this low down here, which is our low of the day at the 15-minute order block that was created at 10:30 in the morning. I'm trying to move this. There we go. The low of the day created at the 15-minute order block at this fib long at 10:30 in the morning. And this is where we got the low of the day. And what happened from here? Price ran above and did what? Created the high of the day after tapping into 13,500. And if you go to a higher time frame, we're going to see if there was an area that price tapped into that made this important. And it doesn't look like it. It just looked like we came back up into this high. So we're going to go back to that lower time frame now and annotate. Just like this. So we have the high of the day that was created at what time? 15:15, which is about 2:15, I'm pretty sure. So we have The high of the day at 2:15 p.m. at what level? 13,500. So that's the high of the day we have. Now, why is this high important? Because we're going to see if there was a potential retracement that we could have got. So simply, what am I going to do? I'm going to pull my fib from this low that we had the low of the day to this high, which is the high of the day. Pull it over, and what is the first thing I notice? The first thing I notice is we did have a retracement in here. And where did it come into? Retrace back into 13,200. So we're going to annotate that level also now. 13,200 right in here. That's 13,201, but saying you get the point. It's not going to be perfect. So let's annotate that. Yeah, the fib long. At what time? This is 18. So this is right beginning of, what is it? Asian session. So we have the fib long. And also retracing the what? Look to the left. Always look to the left. We got this 30-minute bullish order block right in here. And if you go to that 30-minute, right in here. Boom. Boom. Missed it by a point. So we're going to go back to 15. We're just going to use these two down candles just like that. In reality, it should be a 30-minute bullish order block. But when you go to 30-minute, these two candles aren't one. So we're just going to use this right here. So we have the fib long at 14. Is it 14? 13,200. Also, then we have that 15-minute bullish order block. And from here, you got this expansion to the top side. Now, even though this isn't a long move, this is still a move that moved at about 150, 160 points. And if you simply would have had a stop, if you simply would have had a stop loss just below the order block, just like this, for about 60, 63 points, this could have been a potential 1 to 2 trade just off of that. Even though this isn't the time of day that I usually trade, and that's personally not a trade I would take, nonetheless, that is something that you can implement in the future for a potential trade idea. Now, what did we miss? We have the low of the day, the high of the day, the New York high that we drew the fib from this high, from this low from the previous day's low. We have this main move, the expansion that happened at 10:30 in the morning, where we got the low of the day from the fib long that's happened to the 15-minute order block at 1350 mid-figure level. Then we had this run above, going back to clear this New York session high. After we clear that New York session high, price had a retracement into the fib long back in 13,200 at the 30-minute order block, and this is where price expanded back to the top side. So nonetheless, now let's get the schematic of today. Hold on, got a thing that came up on my computer. So let's get the schematic. We're going to draw it right over here. We have the Asian session range. Boom. Then after the Asian session range, price ran above, creating that New York session high. Price then ran below, clearing all the liquidity, created the low of the day before expanding to the top side and continuing the overall bullish trend. And what kind of setup was today? Today was a bullish New York reversal. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a screenshot of this, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to send it to Telegram. So if you're not in the Telegram group, make sure you join it. The link is in the description. It is a free Telegram group that I'm active in every single day with 350 plus members. So if you're interested in that, make sure you join it. And that's really it. So this is the daily range case study of today. Nothing crazy honestly happened. This would have been a good move here. It's kind of crazy. I had an account today that I funded. It was like $106. Just a small account, because I had found I was on my Hugo's Way and I saw that I had 50 something dollars to like inside the internal wallet. I was like, okay, I'm gonna put it inside of this other account that I had that had like 50. Put it together, it was 100, because when you have less than 50 or $60 in the account, you can't trade indices on Hugo's Way. So I just had the money sitting in there because it couldn't be traded, and I don't trade crypto, nor do I trade Forex. So what I did was I went long in here, and what happened is sucks thing about. So it was $100 account. I got in all the way down here for the long, but since I was such a small account, once it went into a negative of 20 points, it stopped me out automatically. And then look what happened. Price ran above 433 points. So I could have made $433 off of the $100 account, but spread ended up stopping me out, which is kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You win some, you lose some. It was a small account. I just wanted to see what I could do, and it ended up being a small loss. So it is what it is. But nonetheless, hopefully the video was helpful, and if it was, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for taking the time to watch this video and taking the time out of your day to try to learn and just overall expand your mindset when it comes to trading. So I appreciate that. Make sure you join the Telegram if you haven't already. The link is in the description, along with all my other links to my website, my social medias, and all that. So that's really it. Had a good week this week. Could have been better, always, but nonetheless, I'm gonna take it with a grain of salt, and I'm gonna make sure I improve from it. Same thing going into next week. So hopefully you guys can do the same thing. Stay productive. Have a good weekend, and I'll see you all tomorrow morning for Friday's last trading session of the week. And we actually do have news tomorrow at 8:30 and 10 a.m. So we're gonna see what the volatility is looking like. With that being said, hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next one.